Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Belmont Park here on the first day of the Belmont Stakes Festival. Here on Thursday, it is June the 9th, 2016. Gonna look at all the races here. It's a bit unusual for me to look at all the races on the card, but it's such a great weekend of racing. I'm gonna do it. So races 1 to 9, I'm gonna look at. Remember, if you want to follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5, you can find all different things on there, selections for other tracks. Go check that out at Horse Racing Kid 5. So let's get on to it, to the great card of action from Belmont. Starting off with race number 1, I will also have pick 4s and pick 5 plays in this video also, so stay around for that. Starting off with race number 1, beginning of the pick 5, race 1, first post time 1 o'clock, so remember that. It's a maiden special weight purse $85,000 for maidens, fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upwards. We have 8 horses traveling the distance of ground of 6 1/2 furlongs. A very nice race here. A few of the races in the sequence of the pick 5 are a little tricky here, and especially that second race. The second race, if you have the amount, just go all. But this first race, I'm gonna give out superfecta plays also, superfecta keys actually, and top selection. I'm gonna go to a top selection here this race. Number 4, Delay of Game, the Godolphin horse. Gonna put this horse into a super key. Gonna go 4 with the 2-3-5 for a 10-cent super key. It's gonna cost you 60 cents to play. In the pick 5 sequence, I would go 3-4. Those are the top 2, I think. But number 4, Delay of Game, top selection, 2-1, Jose Lascano for Kieran McLaughlin out of Bernardini. Who's out of APND, who won the Belmont Stakes in 92, 93, I think 92 we'll go with. But last time out, this horse was sprinting at Keeneland, 6 furlongs on the 24th of April. The main special weight for $53,000. This horse finished 3rd by length that day. He just flattened out in the stretch. You could throw that race out. I think there was something a bit wrong with him. Start before that was at Gulfstream, 6 furlongs, March the 11th, and main special weight for $36,000. This horse finished 2nd by 16 lengths. The winner just ran a hell of a race. This horse was just there for second. And then first career start, you have to go back to a very long layoff to April the 19th, about a 11-month layoff that was. 6 1/2 furlongs at Aqua, main special weight for $70,000. Source finished second by 3.5 lengths. Was 85 cents to the dollar that day, and was part of an entry. He just finished second. He just ran on. I think he's in a great spot today to break his maiden. He should really do well. He's been training at the all-weather training center for Kieran McLaughlin. 4 furlong workout, 49-1, the 4th best set of 4. I think he should do well off the layoff. Kieran, off a 31 to 60-day layoff, has a 21% win strike rate, so just keep that in mind. So to recap my bets here for race number 1 from Belmont Park, the first race of the Belmont Stakes Festival. Gonna find my way to the 4 horse Delay of Game. Gonna put this horse into a super key. Gonna go 4 with the 2-3-5 for 10 cents. It's gonna cost you 60 cents. For $1, it's gonna cost you $6. And to the pick 5, the first leg, gonna find my way. I'm gonna go 4-3. I'm gonna use my top selection, of course, and I'm gonna use the 3 horse. I'm gonna go 2 deep in race number 1. To race number 2 from Belmont Park, first post time 1:31 in the afternoon, is an allowance race per $75,000. It's for New York breds, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 13,000 other than main claim starter, or it's never won 2 races. It's a very difficult race here. We have 8 horses traveling the distance of ground of a mile, and you could have went a few ways. I want to save a bankroll for Saturday, so I'm not going to play a very expensive pick 5, pick 4 ticket. I like to play a ticket at the most. Pick 5, $30. Pick 4, $20 is my limit, because poor college student. They're traveling a mile here, and I found my way to the outside, to the 7 horse Nobody Move. Gonna put this horse into a super key. Gonna go 7 with the 1-2-3-5 for a 10-cent super key. It's going to cost you $2.40. In the pick 5, I'm going to use, and then the pick 4 first leg, I'm going to go 1-3-7. 1-3-7 in the pick 4 and pick 5. Starting off with my top selection here, Nobody Move, 6-1, Irad Ortiz Jr. for John Toscano, this 3-year-old gelding. Last time out, run it here at Belmont, mile 16th on May the 14th, an allowance race for $32,000. This horse finished 3rd by 5 3/4 lengths at 37-1, so just keep that in mind. He just, it was his first start on dirt since March 25th, about 2 months. And he needed that race. He had a decent 3rd place finish, closing up a little bit, but then weakened towards the end. He just got caught. it's a weird race. I think he should really improve today. Then at Aqueduct, a mile on the turf course, April 24th, in the Lions Race 6 2009 was won. This horse finished 6 by 5 1/4 lengths. It was in tight early. Didn't really have the greatest of runs. It was the only start on turf for this horse. I believe it's going to be the last, or maybe not for a while. And then a mile 70 and optional 75 claim of this horse finished third by 4.5 lengths. This horse has only won once. That was the main claim race on the sprinting at Aqueduct on December the 30th. This horse won by 2 1/4 lengths to 90 cents to the dollar. His odds was that day. He won pretty good. I think he should have a really good race here. Watch out for this one. Like I said, this race is wide open. I found my way to the 7 horse because I think you're gonna have a big price in this race, but I also used the 1 and 3 in the pick five, the 1 horse core portfolio, 2 to 1. He had a very nice win last time out on the lead all throughout going a mile here at Belmont. He should really do well. He has decent races over this course. And the 3 horse Clifton Pleasure, another horse who's had some really good races, hasn't won in a while, but he should really do well here again. So to recap my bets for race number 2 from Belmont Park, I'm gonna find my way to the 7 horses top selection. Nobody move. Gonna do a superfecta key. Gonna go 7 with the 1, 2, 3, 5 for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $2.40. And in the pick 5 and pick 4, first leg for the pick 4, I'm going to go 137, 137. To race number 3 now from Belmont Park. It's allowance optional claimer person, $96,000 for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upward, which never won $10,000 twice on the main claiming starter, or state bred, which never won 3 races, or claim price 62.5. We have a field of 6 horses. Only one of the horses are going for the claim price. That's the 5 horse, making have it for the 62.5 claim price. Traveling 6 1/2 furlongs. Very, very, very nice race. As the screen goes white, I do that on purpose to show the diagram. First thing, it gives me a second to look down and see which horse I have, and second, give me a second to stop speaking so I can save my throat because I have throat problems sometimes. So yeah, but it's a very nice race here. This third race, very very nice. I found my way to the 3 horses, top selection, double bolt. Gonna put this horse into super. Gonna go 3-2 with the 4, 5, 6 for the third and fourth place finishes. For a 10-cent super, it's going to cost you 60 cents. If you want to play for $1, it's going to cost you $6. And in the pick 5 and pick 4, I'm going to go 2 deep this race. I'm going to go 2-3. But number 3, double bolt, 8-5, top selection here for Ralph Nix, who trains this one for Johnny V in the saddle. Last time out, going a mile at Keeneland on the 16th of April, an optional 6-2 claimer, 9 horse 2, almost same conditions as today. This horse finished 5th by 6 lengths. He was just weakening. I think going a mile is a bit too long for this horse. He's cutting to 6.5 today. This horse's best races come at 6.5, or 6 furlongs. On March the 13th, this horse ran 6 furlongs at Gulfstream Park and last race 38,000. This horse won by 3.5 lengths. On the lead all throughout. Very easy victory for this horse at a little over 2-1. And then at January 27th, 6 furlongs last race 42,000 at Gulfstream Park. This horse finished second by a neck. He was on the lead and got caught. He was basically even money that day. He has a very nice sprinting record. That's why I like him here. 2 horse has a very nice sprinting record also. He's been running some very good races since he's won into the David Jacobson barn, that 7-year-old mare. So I'm going to go with this one. So to recap my bets for race number 3 from Belmont Park, I'm going to go to the 3-horse, double bolt as a top selection. Going to do a superfecta here, 3-2 with the 4, 5, 6. So 3-2 with the 4, 5, 6 for the third and fourth position for 10 cents. It's going to cost you 60 cents. If you want to play for $1, it's going to cost you $6. And in the pick 4, pick 5, going to go 2-3. So now let's get on to race number 4 from Belmont. 4th race from Belmont is a main special weight purse, $85,000 for fillies and mares, maidens, 3-year-olds, and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses. We have a few main track onlys here, the 3 and 8. Now, if this race gets taken off the turf, we're getting some. It's early Wednesday morning. It's like 12. It's midnight now. So we're gonna get some rain later in the day here on Wednesday here in the New York area. So. Slight chance the race gets taken off turf. I personally don't think so, but if it does, as a top selection here, I would probably single now if this was on the main track the 8-horse Verve's Tails, a top selection, because he has a very good wet course record. But if it's on the turf here, I'm going to go to the top selection to the inside, tailored for success as a top selection. Going to put this horse into a super key. Going to go one with the 2, 6, 9, 10 for 10 cents. Going to cost you $2.40. And in the pick four, pick five, I'm going to go 1-9. So 1-9. Number one, tailored for success, top selection Irish Red Horse for Chad Brown out of Sea the Stars. Very good horse. I read Ortiz on this one last time out. Running April the 20th at Aqueduct, mile 16th in main special weight for 70,000. Horse finished sixth by 7 1/4 lengths that day. Just had to. He was a little bit overmatched that day. It was his first start ever, and he was a little in tight. He just didn't look like he was 100% ready for the race. I think this start he should really do well. Chad Brown, second start of career after a maiden start. This horse is 27. He's 27%. So keep that in mind. But this horse only have one start. They purchased this horse at Keeneland 2014 September sale for $400,000. So they did some good investing. I think they think this horse is very well to run. But I really like this horse here. He's had some workouts. June 3rd at Belmont, 4 full workout in 50 and 4, 25th best out of 33, and a 4 full workout, 49 and 4, 32nd best out of 43. I think this horse should really run a monster race. Second start of his career. I have the 9 horse also on the pick four. He's making his first start since October. Something I've noticed. Shug McGay, he doesn't really get his horses very energized for their first start off a layoff. That's why I'm gonna, if this horse had a start this year, I would probably single it. But since it doesn't have a start, I went with the one horse here. But this horse, he's had some really good races on this turf course. Getting first time Lasix also is going to be a good start. But I like the one horse here, tailored for success as as a bit of a price also on the top selection. So to recap my bets for race number 4 from Belmont here on this opening day of the Belmont Stakes Festival. I'm going to find my way to the one horse tailored for success as top selection. I'm going to go do a superfecta key, one with the 2, 6, 9, 10 for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $2.40, and I'm going to use the 1-9 in the pick 4 and pick 5. So now let's get on to a race. Number 5 from Belmont, one of my favorite races of this weekend is going to be this race, I think. It's the first running of the Belmont Coronation Invitational. Purse $200,000. It's an invitational for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses traveling the distance of ground. First time ever at Belmont Park, they're going to be running this distance of 1 mile and 15 sixteenths. 1 mile and 15 sixteenths. Since they created this race to get some European horses attracted to it. We have, I believe, one European runner in this race, the 3 horse. In Europe, they call these, in England especially, they call these races stayers races because they're long races. You have to stay for them, of course. And the population of the American stayers horses is like next to nothing. You have like probably 2. So you have 6 horses in this. A few more horses might see this running in a few years' time, but 6 is not a bad number. I think they would like it a little more, but it's not so bad. It's not like 4 horses. But you have 6 horses into it. And I'm going to go to the European invasion to the 3 horse Brandy Bend as the top selection. Going to do a super key in this race. Going to go 3 with the 2, 4, 5, 6 for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $2.40. In the pick 4 sequence, pick 5 sequence, I'm going to go 2, 3 in this leg. So 2, 3 in race number 5 here from Belmont. Number 3, Brandy Ben, top selection, 3-1 for Marco Badi, who's sending this one in from the United Kingdom for Florent Giroux. Out of Galileo, one of my favorite sires, one of my favorite horses. He ran over this course on the main track, I believe, at Belmont in the 2001 Breeders' Cup Classic, the year Swain and Tisnow ran. That was thrilling race. But Florent Giroux on this one. Last time out, ran in the United Kingdom on May the 18th at Ayr. Mile and a quarter on a good to soft turf course and a stakes race Sunday 2000. This horse finished 5th by 18.5 lengths. Just really didn't like couldn't really get up there. Just throw that race out. And then I ran over in France, Saint-Cloud, on the 3rd of April in a stakes race for 54,000. This horse finished second by 3 lengths. It wasn't a match for the winner, Mary Pop, who's the winner of her next start out, but just had a decent run. I watched the replay. It wasn't as bad as the running line says it was. And then, and plus that was the horse's first start since November the 7th at Doncaster, mile 5/16. So it's mile and 2.5 furlongs in a stakes race for 60,000. This horse finished fourth by 9.5 lengths. She's going the extra ground today, which would really help this horse. Getting first time Lasix, which should help also. This horse has never been beyond a mile and a half, so a little bit of question, but I think this race is right up this horse's alley. We'll get the distance. Watch out for this one here at 3-1. I'm also gonna put the 2 horse into my pick 5. The 2 horse who is Suft. Suft. I think that's how you pronounce the horse's name. I think my pronunciation of some words is just horrendous. But this horse is running some stayers kind of races or marathon races in the UK as a 3-year-old last season. They were decent races. I think he should really have a good run also. So to recap my bets for the inaugural running, the first running of the Belmont Coronation Invitational from Belmont Park, of course, going to go to the 3-horse Brandy Bend as the top selection. Going to do a super key 3 with the 2, 4, 5, 6 for 10 cents. It's going to cost $2.40. And in the pick 5 and pick 4, the final leg of each of those wagers, the early pick 4, of course, going to go 2, 3. So to recap my pick 5 ticket. Starting off at race number 1, going to go 2 deep to the 3, 4. So race 1, 3, 4. Race 2, going to go 1, 3, 7. 1, 3, 7 in race 2. Race 3, going to go 2, 3. Race 3, 2, 3. Race 4, going to go 1, 9. 1, 9 in race 4. And then race 5, going to go 2, 3. For the 50 cents minimum base wager, it's going to cost you $24 to play this one. And if you want to play the pick 4 also, I'm going to go race 2, of course, 1, 3, 7. It's basically the same thing as the pick 5 ticket. So race 2 is going to go 1, 3, 7. Race 3, 2, 3. Race 4, 1, 9, and race 5, 2, 3 for 50 cents. That's going to cost you $12. I really like the price of that ticket. I think the pick 4, this ticket's very hittable today. So $12 for the pick 4, $24 for the pick 5. So now let's get on to race number 6, the first leg of the pick 4, the late pick 4. I believe there's a guarantee. I don't know the exact number, but it's going to be a nice guarantee here. The 6th race is Lounge Official Claiming Purse, $78,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. New York breds here. We have an overflow field. Well, not an overflow field. They could run 14. They have 13 horses here, traveling 7.5 furlongs on the main track here at the Belmont. 7 furlongs. And my top selection here is All Out Race. This is like the second race today. Any of these horses could win. You just get like a dart and throw it at the dartboard, and that's your selection, I think. But I found my way to the outside horse, to the 12 horse, Spooked Out. Horrible post position, but I think this horse can really overcome it. I'm going to put this horse into a super key. Going to go 12 with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. For 10 cents super key, it's going to cost you $6. In the pick 4, late pick 4, I would go 4 deep. I would go 4, 6, 8, 12. 4, 6, 8, 12. It's just a very difficult race here. I wouldn't be surprised if, a 20 to 1 shot, 30 to 1 shot comes in this race. But number 12, Spooked Out, top selection 5 to 1, John Velasquez. Bred and owned by Mike Rapoli, the Rapoli stable. Last time out, ran at Belmont Park on the slop. 6 furlongs in Gold Fever Stakes. This horse finished 5th by 3 3/4 lengths that day. This horse never saw the lead. First time in his career, he's never saw the lead in a race. He was just a bit outkicked. Winner King Krause ran a hell of a race. Start before that was at Aqueduct, 6.5 furlongs in Lance race, 72,000. Excuse me, this horse won by 3 3/4 lengths. Just had a very clear victory on the lead all throughout. Really ran a hell of a race. Down the inner track, March 3rd, 6 furlongs at Aqueduct, 75,000 optional claimer. This horse finished 3rd by 4 lengths. Was 10 cents over the dollar that day. So if you bet $1, you got $1.10. He just weakened a little bit. The winner Celtic Chaos is coming back into this race, but I think this horse should really run well. He's had two starts here at Belmont. His last start throwout, and his first career start came 6.5 furlongs at Belmont. Finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. If the speed's holding up, I think this horse should really do well. John Velasquez knows what he's doing also. Todd Pletcher sent this horse up to the Oklahoma train track to have a workout. 4 furlong workout at Saratoga and 49, 59.4, that's something. But 49.4, sixth best workout 34. So gonna go with this one. So to recap my bets for race number 6 from Belmont here on this Belmont Stakes Festival Day 1 here on Thursday afternoon. Going to go to the 12 horse Spooked Out as a top selection. Going to go 12 with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 Super Key for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $6. And in the late pick 4, gonna go 4 6 8 9 4 6 8 9 no, excuse me, 4 6 8 12 4 6 8 12 4 6 8 12. You got that? I hope you did. 4 6 8 12. See, my eyes are screwed up now. So now let's get on to race number 7. 4 6 8 12 in race 6. The 7th race from Belmont Park is one of my favorite races. It's the 105th running of the Astoria Stakes. Purse $200,000 for fillies 2-year-olds. We have a field of 9 horses traveling 5.5 furlongs. Belmont put an incentive out that if you run in their 2-year-old races, the trials for this race, as they say, there was a few at Aqueduct, there was a bunch of them here at Belmont. They were first for $100,000. If you run in them, you get an automatic berth to this race, and you also get a share of that $100,000 purse. I think it's a great incentive to have your 2-year-olds ready early on in the year. I like it personally. They're traveling 5.5 furlongs into Astoria. Tomorrow is the boys' turn to run in this race. It's the Tremont tomorrow, but you have a field of 9 horses, and my top selection here is going to go to the 7 horse, the Wesley Ward horse, Lightning Dove, as the top selection. I'm going to go 7 with the 1 3 5 9 Super Key. 10 cents, going to cost you $2.40. In the pick 4, late pick 4, I'm going to go 7-9. 7-9 late pick 4. Number 7, Lightning Dove, 3-1. Joel Rosario for Wesley Ward. I know it's Wesley Ward on this one, but I really like the Uncle Mo on this horse. This race, when I looked at it, all these horses ran basically almost the same race. If you watched the replay, when I found out, then I went off the sires. Uncle Mo could really sprint. He was a very fast horse. Indian Charlie also, but that's why I found this horse to the top here. His first career start was on April 28th at Keeneland. 4.5 furlongs, main special weight for $48,000. And at field 6, this horse won by 3 3/4 lengths. It was 90 cents to the dollar that day, and this drew up very clear. It was a little bit wide, but it was a very nice win. Since then, this horse has been training at at Keeneland. 4 furlong workout, 48 flat. Second best out is 27, and a 4 furlong workout, 48 and 3. The fourth best out, 32. I think this horse should have a monster race. Out of Uncle Mo, should really do well. Uncle Mo, I believe, won the Kelso over this course in 2011. So I'm gonna go with this one. Also have the 9 horse Bodie's Dream at 7-2. This 2-year-old out of Bodie Meister. He should really run a hell of a race. His first career start was down at Gulfstream, 4.5 furlongs, won by 3 3/4 lengths, was 20 cents to the dollar that day. A very bet horse. He was just very clear on the lead all throughout. He's been training here at Belmont since then. 4 furlong workout, 49 and 1 on the training track. Another horse, monster race last time out. Watch out for this one to have a good run. So to recount my bets for race number 7 from Belmont Park, it's the 105th running of the Astoria Stakes. Gonna go to the 7 horse Lightning Dove as top selection. Gonna do a Super Key 7 with the 1 3 5 9 for 10 cents. Gonna cost you $2.40. And I'm also gonna use in the pick for the 7-9 here in race number 7 from Belmont for the pick 4. So now let's get on to race number 8. The 8th race here from Belmont Park is the 3rd running of the Intercontinental Stakes. Purse $150,000 for fillies mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 runners traveling 7 furlongs on the Widener turf course. This is a very nice race. We have some very nice horses running. 7 furlongs. And my top selection here is going to go to the 9 horse. Number 9, La Burma. Gonna put this horse into a Super Key. Gonna go 9 with the 1 3 4-8 for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $2.40. In the pick four sequence, I'm going to go 4-9. 4-9. I'm going to go too deep in this leg. But starting with the 9-horse La Burma, top selection 8-1. Victor Espinosa coming in for James Cassidy. From his base from Southern California. Last time out, first start in the United States, first start on Lasix, 1 mile into Royal Heroin Mile, grade 2 event that day. Source finished ninth by 6.5 lengths, was setting the pace early, but really just weakened after that. Then that was a horse first start in the States. You kind of expect a horse really after a long layoff and first start in the States to really not run as good. Start before that was at Longchamp in France, October the 4th in the Qatar Prix de la Forêt Stakes, Group 1 race that day for a little over with $3 million or something like that. This horse finished ninth by 5.5 lengths at 78 to 1. Throw that race out. He was racing a lot against a lot tougher horses that day. Then Longchamp 7 furlongs, September the 6th. And the Prix de Pin Stakes, Group 3. So we're finished second by 1.25 lengths. Had a very nice second place finish. I wasn't catching the winner, but it was a decent second place finish. Watched the replay earlier today. But he's been running some decent races in France last year as a 3 and 2-year-old. This horse only won once last year. That was in a stakes race at Longchamp, going 7 furlongs on a wet turf course. Won by 6 lengths in field 7. And just ran a hell of a race, just drew off clear. And then he broke his maiden at Deauville on the all-weather back in August of 2014. So watch out for this horse to run a monster race today, 8-1. Biggest question is Victor Espinosa's. Belmont's record is now probably 4-80, something like that. That fourth winner came in the Belmont Stakes last year. Since then, I don't think he's had a mount here. But it's a little difficult riding at Belmont, and Victor Espinosa, he's only won 4 times. There was only one win that really mattered, that American Pharoah Star. But I think he should really do well here, 8-1 if he gets a good ride. So to recap my bets for race number 8 from Belmont Park, it's the third running of the Intercontinental Stakes. Going to go to the 9 horses, top selection. Going to do a super key. Going to go 9 with the 1, 3, 4, 8 for 10 cents. Going to cost you $2.40. And I'm also going to, in the pick 4, late pick 4, going to go 4-9. 4-9 here in race number 8 from Belmont. So now let's get on to race number 9, the final race in today's program from Belmont Park. It's Lance Optional Claimer purse, $90,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which never won $10,000 other than main claiming starter or state bred, or which never won 2 races or claim price $25,000. We have a field of 11 horses traveling 1 mile and 3/8 on the inner turf course. Rail will be set at 35 feet. Mile and 3/8. My top selection here is going to go to the 7 horse. Bit of a price here. Number 7's Solable, a German bred horse at 10 to 1. Going to put this horse into a super key. Going to go 7 with the 2, 3, 4, 6 for 10 cents. Going to cost you $2.40. And in the pick 4, going to go too deep this race. Going to go 2-7. So 2-7 in the in the last leg of the pick 4. 2 prices, 5 to 1, 10 to 1. So, but number 7, Solable, German bred horse for Robert Ribundo, for Junior Alvarado. This 4-year-old gelding reported as gelding on the 29th of September of 2015. Since this horse is out of Galileo, also who I really like. Since then, this horse has had 1 start, made the 12th monoquarter here at Belmont, an optional 25 claimer, 9 wars 1. This horse finished 6th by 5.5 lengths that day. Set the lead pace early that day, and this weekend, his first start in the States, first start since September, needed a race that day. Start before that was at Haddock in England, September the 5th in a Betfred Handicap Stakes. Swartz finished 3rd by 5 lengths. Really didn't have a great closing kick. I think a bit too far for that horse also. And then the mile 3/8 at Kempton on the all-weather poly track in the handicap for $11,000. Swartz finished 2nd by 3.25 lengths. He was 2nd best. Wasn't catching the winner, just ran a hell of a race. He was Land Wad Lad. This horse's last win has only won once. That was at Wolverhampton in 2015. On February the 16th of 2015, going mile 3/16. He won by nose and just got up, and he held on. So I think this horse should really do well today. Second start in the States. Second start with Lasix. Watch out for this horse to have a monster run. Also, this 2-horse Nigel's Destiny running again, second time off the gelded run. Second time on Lasix. Should really run a monster race. He's run going a mile in England, but the added distance shouldn't be a problem with the 2 horse. So to recap my bets for race number 9 for Belmont Park, gonna go to the 7 horses top selection. Gonna do a superfecta key. Gonna go 7 with the 2, 3, 4, 6 for 10 cents. Gonna cost you $2.40. And then the late pick 4, gonna go 2-7, 2-7 late pick 4. To recap my late pick 4 tickets, starting off at race number 6. I'm gonna go 4, 6, 8, 12. 4, 6, 8, 12 in race 6. Race 7, gonna go 7, 9 in the pick 4. Race 7, gonna go 7, 9. Race 8 for the pick 4, gonna go 4, 9. 4, 9 in race number 8. And in race 9, gonna go 2, 7. 2, 7 in race 9. For 50 cents minimum base wager, it's gonna cost you $16. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.